What is up, guys? So, I made a bit of a college hookup guide, despite never going to college other than like 2 weeks. Um, I did get laid in college because I worked at some for a little bit and just like going there and cold approaching women. So, I know a little bit of what I'm talking about here. And if you're just, about to start soon or if you're already going to school, then hopefully this will help you out. Uh, but yeah, I mean, God, it's like the most prime location to like meet women, and women are, in their prime. Uh, they're generally looking to hook up. I mean, I don't really have to sell you on this. You know you're in a good position, but yeah, it certainly would suck spending several years there and not getting much action. So the first thing is putting yourself in a position for, to meet women. And really the best way, the one that I have the most experience with is working at a campus. If there's a campus on the bar, really, I mean, working anywhere. If you're actually like encouraged to approach women, which I'll get to in a second, but I worked at a couple different bars at a couple different universities, and it was just like a weekend thing, and they all ended up with numbers, and I ended up getting laid from all of them. And I'm sure if you have like an actual like club on campus or something like that, if you're working like a doorman, bartender, or just whatever it is, that you're gonna get women who are a little bit tipsy and like you and want to hook up with you. So here is a picture of I blurred out the faces. This is a long time ago, and this was uh, University of Victoria, I believe. Um, so it was like a promo gig. I was like early 20s, and yeah, I don't know how like I ended up just a friend of a friend getting a promotion type job. I mean, I think you could probably search it on Craigslist, maybe. So I ended up working with Coors Light, and it was cool. There's a lot of jobs like this. No, I didn't end up hooking up with any of those girls, and but yeah, so that's pretty. That I mean, that's probably my number one recommendation. It's just like if you're there, you're just going to be attractive women are going to be around you all the time. They're going to be drinking. It really won't take that much effort, even if you're a bit like nervous and stuff. So number two, just expand your social circle. I mean, as best as you can, even if you're not like not good at meeting women, just you're gonna have opportunities because you're gonna if you expand your social circle, you're gonna be like friends of friends. You're gonna be vetted. You're not just some random approaching a girl. You're gonna have some trust, and that's a big thing. And of course, there's gonna be more parties that come from that. So that's a big one. And I'm reading. I have this all written down. If you're wondering why I'm staring over here, I'm just reading it out, and it takes me sometimes a little bit to read. Maybe I should have gone to college, especially when I'm not doing any spelling checks. So yeah, that's oh yeah. So if how to expand your social circles, that can really depend. Just go to parties, go to if you are invited. Don't be afraid to like meet other people. Um, get numbers from people in your class is probably one of the easiest ways. And since you had the excuse to talk to them, like for homework or whatever, uh, for your group working on something. Next, so, oops, sorry about that. I don't. I'm not good at jump cuts. Maybe I'll start doing them soon. Join school events or clubs. So I have another picture here, and this one is a. I guess I don't have to go close to my microphone. This is a college hosted event at UBC, and yeah, I got laid a couple times there despite never going there. It was pretty cool. Morgan Page was the DJ or whatever it is. I don't think he's like relevant anymore. But yeah, so I think you can like probably volunteer at some of these things. I mean, again, it's kind of like working at a campus or whatever. Not quite as good, but if it could still work out. I You can also like yeah, just other clubs or anything like that, other events. That also helps to expand your social circle. That's pretty important. I remember at UBC, this was like a long time ago, but there was like a Quidditch match clubs going on, which is a bit different. Um, but there was like a lot of people there. I mean, so there's probably a club or something that is like relevant to you. And generally, I don't think it's like worthwhile to go to a club or rather, pursue a hobby or pursue, like volunteering somewhere for the sake of meeting women just because it's like the numbers, the time invested to do that, to actually meet women, it's just really, really low. Like you're not actually going to have much success, like unless you really want to do the hobby or to volunteer, whatever it is. But anyway, so this is a little bit better because at least it's for clubs for college. They're going to be young. There's going to be women, volunteering. I know more women generally volunteer than guys, so it's not so bad. Use dating apps, of course. A lot of dating apps use the the algorithm really like factors in your location, so you should get more college girls. Hopefully, swiping yes. Just haven't used Tinder in a very long time. Um, so is it swiping right? I don't know. It's more of a plenty of fish guy. So when you get there, when you get to the point of asking a girl for her number, um, if it's a club or something like, or something along those lines, always like using an excuse to ask for her number, like carpooling or something to wherever you're going. Again, if it's like a club, although if you live on campus, I guess that doesn't really make sense. But just, you know, generally speaking, talk to a girl and just say like, hey, what's your number, by the way? I mean, if you're looking for some like amazing strategy that ends up, you know, being magic or something, it's not. Like it's really just make it simple, just be direct. Like sometimes there's excuses that you can use, to, again, like if there's a girl in your class and you're just like, hey, uh, what's your number so we can, talk about the assignment or whatever it is. Now, in terms of like cold approaching, straight up going and talking to a girl that you've never seen before, like you don't want to blitz and do like 100 cold approaches at your own campus. I mean, you don't want to kind of develop that reputation, maybe at a different school. But if there's other approaches that you can make, which are called situational approaches, I don't know if I've coined that term or not, but basically like being highly like selective with your approaches. So, and using your environment to actually go talk to her. So if like you see a girl who is carrying some books of a class that you're actually interested or not interested in, then you can use that as an excuse to go up to her and talk to her. And then, maybe an excuse if you have other questions about that class, like how is it? Is it hard? I'm thinking about taking it, blah, blah, blah. Do that kind of thing. I mean, it's hard because you're not going to always think of something creative. And even if you do, you know, that first cold approach, which, situational approaches, you're not going to do like a whole bunch at once. They're just going to be one-offs. And the first approach in a day is always the most difficult. So it's not going to be easy. But if you can take advantage of it, you'll definitely have some success. And really, that's about it. I talk about something unrelated here that I guess I'll talk about. Just about like approaching. Like, I feel like every time you do something 10 times, you end up kind of like increasing a level. You get a little bit better at it. And in regards to just cold approaching, like think about it like that. It's super difficult to cold approach. It's just unbelievably difficult. I mean, I remember when I first started, just like asking for the time, which is like something that I generally recommend a lot of guys do, just, or go say hi to a girl. Even that can be really difficult. But every time you do something 10 times, you get a little bit better at it. Like you go up a level. And so try to think of it like that, whatever it is, you know, asking for a girl's number, going on dates with girls, making a move if you're kind of nervous to like escalate or whatever. Um, I mean, 10 times is a lot, but you do it enough, you get better. So like the progress is really like where everything happens, not whether or not you fail or succeed. It's the fact that you're doing it. So I have a little bit more in terms of the escalating and that kind of stuff. The good thing is like girls know at college know like you're probably not looking for a relationship. I mean, you certainly can still, but there's like a more of an expectation that things are going to move a little bit quicker, which is awesome. I mean, I usually on my dates, I'll just like, because I've historically used online dating so much, the first date would always just be like drinks or whatever. And then the second date or the third, sometimes second would be like something fun, and then end up at one of our places, at like mine or her place, or just like Netflix and chilling, without actually, saying Netflix and chilling, but like maybe talking about some movie or something on that first date indirectly, and then like remembering what she's saying. So like, oh, we should watch that. Oh, if she's like surprised I've never seen X movie, even though I probably have, I'll just like foreshadow her coming over to watch the movie, which is like puts you in a position to easily make a move because you're together alone, and that's pretty cool. But yeah, so I in this guide I have a more explicit um, a guide within a guide. Actually, no, it's a link within a guide. If you're kind of like nervous about making a move with a girl, I know I had some performance anxiety just making that public. It happens. I mean, you just kind of, oops, you just kind of have to roll with it. I actually used medication and it totally helped. And then having the medication for the performance anxiety, it ended up just knowing that I had it, I didn't need it. And also, I mean, not to get too explicit here, but you get 110% basically. There's no, all the blood goes there. So, if you want the full size, it's really not the worst thing to take. But yeah, I mean, that's about it. If you're not super experienced, don't be afraid to lower your standards a little bit. I mean, it's completely fine. A lot of girls are wanting to hook up, so it's not like you have to lower your standards and then, have to date a girl or something like that. Your intention should always be clear and obvious. Don't, worry too much about the competition. A lot of guys just don't take advantage of the position that they're in the time of their life. There's more than enough women to go around. And just remember, a lot of women just want sex. They just want to hook up. Sometimes, we can forget that, we have to go through some more formal steps. It's like it can just be a quick one-nighter, and that is very common in college. And it's going to be the highest percentage of sexually available women in your life, all conjugated in this one time, in this one place, and you don't want to have any regrets about it. So fucking take advantage of it, and let me know how it goes. Also, of course, make sure you look really good, because if you look like shit, no girl's gonna want to talk to you. But good luck. Peace.